Hi everybody, it's Audrey back again, and I'm very excited to share this video with you today because I'm going to be showing a couple techniques using some products from Therm O Web, and this month we have also partnered with Tailored Expressions. Tailored Expressions makes die sets and stamp sets and coordinating dies and stamp sets. So I am going to be using this stamp set, which is called Stroke of Genius, and this die set, which is called Scribble Flowers. So I am starting with just a smooth white cardstock. This is called, this is Bazzill Coconut Swirl, and it has a smooth finish. It's not textured. And I'm going to use this stamp from the Stroke of Genius collection, and all these stamps in this set look like paint strokes. And I noticed this one was kind of curved, and I had the idea that if I kind of grouped a couple of them together that perhaps I could make a circle. So I'm trying it out here to see if the curve, the arc of it works well enough or it's the right angle to actually make a circle. And I just kind of overlap the ends a little bit, and because the stamp itself is kind of a very organic shape, it's not, you know, a real detailed structured shape, it really works well just overlapping the ends so that it really does kind of look like brush strokes. So I'm just layering some like a teal color blue with some yellow, and I do overlap the colors so that you can get a little bit of green in there as well. These ink pads are just, I think they're Stampabilities ink pads that I got actually from Hobby Lobby. I have to admit, I am not a big stamper, and I have not stamped on a page in a long time, so I don't own a lot of stamping supplies. Well, I say that, but I probably do, and I just don't know that I have them all, but because I haven't used them in such a long time. But so it actually felt good to get out these stamps and kind of motivated me to want to stamp some more of my pages. Also in this stamp set are these little they look like splatters. They look like paint splatters. So I'm just dabbing those around with some, I think this ink is from Lawn Fawn. It's a green. And I'm like double and triple stamping. I can't remember. I think that has a special term, but I can't remember. Just to get some lighter stamps there. So I'm working with the May Hip Kit Club kit because I love the papers and the colors in this kit. And they went, that yellow in the kit went perfectly with the yellow, and well, it's kind of a greenish yellow in my son's shirt. This is a page of him and his best buddy. And I'm just picking out some papers here to layer behind the photos to help make them stand out a little bit from the background circle that I stamped. At first, I really wasn't too sure about how I was going to like the stamped circle, but as I kept going with this page, I really liked how it came out. Okay, so now I'm opening up the die set and breaking the little bits of the dies apart, and I'm getting out my Big Shot, which I have not used in a very long time, probably since I got an electronic die cutting machine. And I'm cutting out some of the circles from some pattern paper, and I'm cutting out a couple different colors in patterns because I'm not quite sure which circles I want to use. I really love this die set because even though it's Scribble Flowers, as you'll see, I don't actually end up using it for flowers. I end up using it as kind of some scattered circles on the page. Okay, this is the Therm O Web adhesive foam adhesive, which is awesome. Because you can die cut it with a manual die cutting machine like this. You can use an electronic die cutting machine. You can use punches, and it works with the DecoFoil products, which you'll see in a little bit here. So these dies, I'm actually cutting out the scribble part of the Scribble Flowers, and there was a couple little intricate pieces in one of the shapes, and it was a little tricky to get out because the foam is very flexible. So I was fiddling around with it there a little bit. So here are the three colors of foil that I chose. I actually end up only using the aqua and the green. The blue is a little bit too dark. And on this particular design from the die, it's kind of like a crosshatch pattern. So all the little squares that were inside the the lines I had to cut out. So, and I was trying to poke them out with a pin. So all you do is take the top of the adhesive off, the top layer of the tape, and you put the foil on top, and you just peel the foil back, and the foil finish is left on the foam. It's so awesome, and it's so easy, and it's so pretty. So I'm picking out some little pieces here from the other die, and I was really struggling trying to get that top layer of tape off. Look how pretty that is. And it's really hard to see on camera. The camera doesn't do it justice, but you can see the kind of the glare there hitting it from my light. But like I said, this is super easy. You don't even have to use a die cutting machine. You could cut shapes by hand. I mean, it would be fun to cut alphas by hand, or even, you know, just any shape you could cut. So here I'm actually trying it a different way. I just cut a piece of foam adhesive, and then I applied the foil to it, and now I'm going to cut it to see if that works better than trying to add the foil afterwards. And I think it did work a little bit better. It was much easier to work with once the foil was on, because that top layer wasn't sticky once the foil was on. So I might recommend doing it this way, where you kind of cut off a chunk of the foam first, and then add your foil, and then die cut it. I mean, the finish comes off the same either way, so it doesn't really matter. But I just thought I was able to manipulate the piece better, and it kind of held its shape better when I added the foil first and then ran it through the die cutting machine. But I just went ahead and worked with the shapes that I had already cut out and fiddled around with them, and I'm not going to show you all that. But I did foil a couple more pieces with some green and teal foil. Okay, so I'm taking those circles that I cut out, and I'm just kind of scattering them on my page now, trying to decide where I want to put them. And you can see I'm overlapping some of those foiled foam pieces from the die that I cut, and just placing them on different parts of the circles. And I want to make sure that the flow of these circles helps draw your eye across the page. And I'm digging into this ephemera pack from this die cut pack from the Hip Kit Club Make Kit. There were a lot of great sayings and things that could have gone with this page, and the colors were absolutely perfect. That word today was like the same blend of blue that I used in my stamping. It went so well together. I'm really surprised once I got the basics down here how I realize this might seem to you that it's taking a long time, but how fast I actually went through and was able to finish the page. I mean, I'm just adding little bits here and there, but overall, the design of the page in general just went really well. And I think I spent so much time going through all the embellishments and little bits here because there was so much in this kit, and I wanted to use it all. And sometimes a little less is more. So I didn't end up using every little bit, but I did use a big chunk of the embellishments that came in the kit. This is rare for me to actually put a title down and have that be sticking down before anything else on the page is down. I usually do my title the very last thing, but I knew exactly what I want the title to say, and so I just went ahead and stuck it down so that I could design the rest of my page around it. I really wanted to have a little bit more color on the page because there was a lot of the blue and yellow and greenish, and some of the circles there had a little bit of color in it, but I really wanted to add some more. Sorry for my head sticking out there. So I just cut this triangle piece of paper, which the colors are so pretty, and I just added that to the top and bottom just to bring a little bit more color in. And you can see I've stitched around the circle just with some white thread. I stitched a lot of circles, and it just added some nice texture to the background. And I had to take the letters off to stitch, so they lost some of their stickiness, so I actually just went ahead and glued them down. And now I'm just going back and gluing down all my little bits where I had placed them. Oops, I forgot some splatters. That color is Leaf Green by Studio Calico, and it is very, very close to the color of the ink the ink pad I used to stamp earlier. Here I am again trying to poke out some of those little holes from that cross hatch pattern. So in addition to foam, there are lots of other adhesives that you can use with the DecoFoils. There's a liquid adhesive, there's a liquid pen that you can actually write with and foil with, and there is hot melt adhesive sheets, which you can use with a laminator. You can also use the foils with anything that has been printed on a laser printer that uses toner, because the foils will pick up the toner. So it's pretty versatile. There's a lot of ways that you can use it. And it's fun, and it adds a lot of, I think, interest to your page. So I was really hesitant about using flowers on this page because it's a page about boys, and I don't know. I just have a thing, I guess, about using flowers on boy pages, but it came out all right. And it's not overly floral. I mean, when you first look at it, you hardly even see the florals. So, but the colors were good, so I had to put them on. So I did end up going back and going through all the embellishments that came in this kit, and I had to add some wood veneer. So I'm just adding a couple arrows because I had added that navy arrow by the title that said today. I thought just adding a couple more arrows would help your eye move in that direction. And then I had the idea, that little arrow right there had kind of a big flag background. I wanted to try to stamp the date on it. And it was a little too small for my stamp, but I got most of the date on it, and you can tell what date it is, so it came out cute. You'll see a close-up at the end of the video where you're able to see the how that's stamped a little bit better. So this is pretty much it, and now I'm just adding in my journaling about these two silly guys, and there's the finished page. So I hope you enjoyed this today. Make sure you check out the Therm O Web blog for lots of ideas on how to use DecoFoil. And all this week, and actually I think most of the month, we'll be sharing some more projects with tailored expressions. So check them out as well. Thanks so much for stopping by. See you soon.